Good evening. Tonight, we follow the plight of a strange creature indeed. The legendary Dimensions is a world plagued with many necromancers, and none are more prolific than the dwarven necromancer Id Daggerweighted. Having mastered the secrets of life and death, Id has been doing horrible experiments on people for centuries, turning them into nightmarish living abominations. The Tower of Racewind is defended by a great army of these monsters. However, on occasion, some of the creations of Daggerweighted escape from their servitude to their foul masters. Prisoners of war captured by the foes of the tower are sometimes granted freedom and wander the world, finding their own way in life. Among these lucky few is Thikut Laibashdeton, Axe Iron. He is an Eye of Daggerweighted, a large one-eyed humanoid. It has large mandibles. Its charcoal skin is leathery. Thikut has spent some time living in the bandit camp of Lensact in the far north of the world, where the few inhabitants there have allowed him to stay. Thikut's incredible strength has allowed him to contribute to the group as a weaponsmith, but it's clear that he's just about overstayed his welcome. The bandits tolerated his monstrous presence thus far, but Thikut has sensed it's time to move on. He's gathered up his things, a silver warhammer, forged by his own hand, his leather armor, issued to him during his time at the tower, no doubt made from the hide of some necromantic abomination, an iron helm, and his horse, Zephon Fight Earths. Thikut is strong, agile, and tough, even for an Eye of Daggerweighted. He knows a thing or two about swinging a hammer, and he's decent enough at intimidating people, for obvious reasons. Thikut is utterly disgusted by romance, and always enjoys a good fistfight. He's assertive and confident, likes helping others, and has a sense of duty. He's also quarrelsome and rude, which he's bothered by since he values friendship and principle. Thikut dreams of creating a masterwork. Perhaps he'll get a chance to forge himself a more impressive warhammer someday. Thikut worships no gods. One so cursed as he puts little value in piety. Thikut is ready to begin his journey. To where? Not even he knows. He says his goodbyes to the elven boss of the bandits, mounts up, and sets off into the frozen wilderness. Thikut considers which way to go first. There's a goblin dark pit to the west, but Thikut thinks better of approaching. He begins traveling east, but sees a forest retreat further north, Karamala, Stir Nature, no doubt long abandoned by the elves, and perhaps now home to more disreputable creatures. But it's worth checking out. He sets off to the former elven settlement. There's an orchard of almond trees here, planted in neat rows. Quite a few of them. The elves must have been growing almonds as a major food source or trade good, though there are no almonds here anymore. Thikut's never had an almond before. He wishes there were almonds. At a crossroads, Thikut finds an apricot wood statue of Nagam Monster Murdered, a goblin. The statue refers to the goblin's election to priesthood in the Scholarly Coven religious group, his new title being Exalted Brain. Thikut doesn't understand this religion idea. The bandits tried explaining the concept to him, but he couldn't quite get his head around it. Following the road further, Thikut finds a book. It's called The Pursuit of Mating. Thikut does know how to read, but this is most certainly not his preferred genre. He reads it nonetheless. It's a 108-page manual that seems to have been written by an elf. It concerns the reproductive behavior of creatures. The writing rapidly shifts between topics. While Thikut was concerned about the book's title, as he finds romance repulsive even in the abstract, the reproductive behaviors documented here have little to do with actual romance. The prose is also downright masterful. He feels satisfied to have learned something, and stows the book. It's an interesting souvenir, and reading material is hard to come by these days. He finds more statues, depicting goblins being cursed, but there are no goblins here now. Or elves, for that matter. The only creatures he happens upon are some eagles and a bear. They all give Thikut a wide berth. Satisfied that he's given the ruin a thorough enough search, Thikut takes his leave of Stir Nature. He can see the coast from here, just to the north. Thikut has never been to the sea. The balanced seas. He finds white sandy beaches and water stretching out to the horizon. Thikut doesn't try going for a swim. The water's freezing. No doubt this will all be ice by winter. He wanders along the coast for a time, but there's little here but crabs in the sea. It's time to continue on. There's another settlement to the east. Looks like another forest retreat, though he thinks he might see activity from a distance. It's possible this site is under the control of the goblins. He decides to take the risk. He can always ride away if it looks like trouble. Entering the forest retreat, Gale Oranges, Thakut finds a goblin miner. Though he seems pretty amicable. Maybe this place is independent from the major goblin civilizations. His name is Alsnoon Stosbubala. Says he's just out for a stroll. Thakut asks about the surrounding area, hoping to get a lay of the land. The goblin tells him that Akafe Scalded Forded the elf is in Len's act. Thakut is of course well aware of that, as Akafe is the boss of the bandits he just took leave of. Thakut asks about troubles in the area. It's good to know if there are any dragons to be on the lookout for. Osnoon tells him there's a missing treasure. Apparently a dwarf here, Naguzlu Growth Nightmares, is looking for an artifact iron crossbow. Well, perhaps finding this crossbow might help Thakut make some inroads with the locals. Yes, they're goblins, but if it means a roof over his head, or a branch I guess, Thakut isn't about to get choosy about who he associates with. Before he looks for Naguzlu, Thakut tries to get as much information as he can from Osnoon about the surroundings. Apparently there's a brute of evil named Vukar in a lair near here, which sounds like something to avoid. Osnoon also tells Thakut that another Eye of Dagger-weighted, Kivish Hero-glazed, lives in the next forest retreat over, Fernhands. Thakut makes a note of that. It might be a good idea to head there next. He continues to grill the goblin for more information about the region. Thakut is well aware that Osnoon has become impatient from this constant questioning, but he rather rudely continues anyway. Eventually the goblin gets fed up and tells Thakut to stop bothering him. But Thakut learned a lot. Coming here seems to have been a good idea. Thakut starts searching through the forest retreat. To his great surprise, Thakut sees someone up in a tree. It's another Eye of Dagger-weighted. He climbs up and greets them. Their name is Nagoso Heroic Tix. Thakut tries to make small talk, asking how Nagoso is doing.
Do you have dreams? Tell me a story.
Well, that's an odd thing to say out of the blue, but Thakut is obliging and tells Nagoso about how he found the book, Pursuit of Mating.
A horse had the pursuit of mating in Gale Oranges. I don't care one way or another.
Tough crowd. Anyway, Thakut asks if Nagoso is aware of any troubles in the area. Apparently there have been abductions. Nagoso says that long ago, 2 Eyes of Dagger-weighted were kidnapped from here. It's left rather ambiguous how long ago this occurred. Thakut was really trying to figure out if there were any ways he could help out immediately. But he's still interested. If there's a group of his people somewhere out in the world, outside of the Necromancer Towers, Thakut would like to meet them. And on that note, he asks Nagoso if they'll join him on his journey. 2 eyes are better than 1 after all. Nagoso doesn't seem interested. No matter. Thakut thanks them for the information and dismounts from the tree. Thakut finds 2 more Eyes of Dagger-weighted in another nearby tree, along with 2 goblins. Perhaps his people are more common and arboreal than he had thought. Well, it seems like this place is accommodating to eyes. Finding work here seems like a good idea. He can help out the locals with any tasks troubling them, and maybe he'll fit in here. Thakut decides to take some time to gather as much information as he can about all the problems these people are facing, missing treasures, monster attacks, and the like, and to see what jobs seem up his alley. Following the sound of music, Thakut comes across an enormous tavern. Tables and chairs are strewn across the forest floor, while dozens and dozens of elves and goblins make merry. There's even a few humans and dwarves here. Thakut has certainly never seen a party like this before. These people may be able to give him the information he's looking for. Thakut has procured quite a bit of valuable information. This forest retreat belongs to an elven government known as the Decent Bud. The populace is so varied because of a few conquests by the necromancers and the goblins a few centuries ago. The people don't seem to have any particularly pressing troubles either. There's some titans far to the south, but nothing directly threatening this settlement. Thakut didn't expect to find a place like this. A lively settlement where people of all kinds, even Eyes of Dagger-weighted, are accepted. A place safe from the villains of the world. The memories of his horrific life in the tower seem far away. this oasis of life in a dying world may finally provide Thakut Axe-Iron with a place to call home. And so, we leave Thakut to his new home as we depart from the legendary dimensions. There are tales to be told of other peoples in other worlds. Come find me again some other night to hear their stories.